Hi dreamers, and welcome back to another video. So in this video I'll be giving you guys a story time. So let's just get started because I don't want it to be too long because there is a part 2, but I don't want to make it a part 2. So let's just jump right into the video. So this is how I lost 2 best friends in a month. So long story short, I had four best friends. And this is how I lost 2 of them. So 2017, I was talking to my best friend B. I'm gonna call her B. I was talking to my best friend B, saying how I wanted to have a photo shoot for my clothing line. It would this would be my first photo shoot for my clothing line. So I wanted to have a photo shoot for my clothing line. She was like, okay, great, I know a photographer, yada yada. So with that situation, she came up from where she lived. We had the photo shoot. Her photographer sucked. Like, when he sent me the pictures, he didn't edit anything, he didn't Photoshop anything, and this is all in the amount that I paid him. So I'm like, well, you didn't do anything I asked you to do. Like, you're gonna have to give me back half of the payment, something like that. And he was like, oh, sorry, no, I can't do that, blah blah blah. Number one reason why I do contracts now. So basically he shitted on me. So then I said, okay. I told B, and she was like, I'm gonna talk to him. She couldn't do nothing. He basically was stubborn. And I was like, you know, lesson learned. I know not to work with you ever again. And if your name comes up with people I'm interacting with, I'm gonna tell them how my photo shoot was trash because of you. And now I'm thinking about it, I don't see him post anything on social media, so I don't even know if he even was a real photographer, or he even does it anymore, the case may be. I think it was more of his brother or whatever. So I had to send all the photos that he sent me, all the photos that he gave me, I had to send it over to another photographer, which is a girl. She's amazing. I plan to work with her in the future, hopefully during this year. But her name is Faith. I'll link her Instagram and stuff down. She also has a YouTube channel, so I'll link that down below. Excuse me. But so I sent it over to her, and then she ended up editing and photoshopping. Sorry, somebody's calling me, guys. Sorry guys, had a phone call. So I sent my photos over to her. She photoshopped it. She edited it, took out, like, literally all the photos had like some type of paper or tags or chair or shoe like on the floor, where he could have easily removed from the photo before he sent it to me. But now I'm seeing that this gesture working. I'm like, well, there's no way these photos are done. So long story short, I sent her the pictures. She did them for me, and they came back amazing. I was able to post and stuff by Valentine's Day. So we had that. Then in March, I said I wanted to film a short script. So I wrote out a little short script. It was like a dance short script, which was really cute. And it's on my other YouTube channel, but I'm thinking about putting it on this YouTube channel so you guys can see it. But it has her in it, and you know, I don't want to take away that's one thing I should have said before this video. I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm not trying to take away anybody's credit. I don't want you to do bad in life. It's all love. I'm just giving a story time. That's it. I don't feel no bad way about anything. But yeah, so I think I might actually bring that video over to this channel so you guys can see it. But so in March, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna come down there to where she lived, and we're gonna film in her basement. We're gonna do a whole dance routine, and it's a skit. So it was like a dance short film, which I was really excited about because I did the whole I choreographed the whole thing, and I was really excited about it because I used to dance and then I stopped dancing, and then me getting back into dance, it was like amazing. So that year, 2017, I was supposed to get back into dance, so that's what I was doing. So we did January, she came up, we did that. Then March, I went down there, we did that. And then May came, and after we did our thing in March, she said how she wanted to do a workshop. So I'm not gonna tell you guys what she does, because if I do, then you're obviously gonna know who I'm talking about. But she said she wanted to do a workshop. So I said, okay, cool, let me know, I could be there to help. So her workshop was in May, so she came back up here in May. So if you guys are following, it's January, then March, then May, you know what I'm saying? So we're literally like every other month seeing each other. To mind you, we're talking back and forth because we've been talking since January, since the photo shoot, the short skit, her workshop she wanted to do, and then we was gonna do, and that was May, and we were trying to do something for June or July. So we were supposed to be working. So she comes up here for May, and then she had her workshop. She does her workshop. So for her workshop, I told her I'm gonna do the goodie bags, because I'm like, it's real cute when you give out goodie bags, lets people know that they appreciate you. Like, even for my photo shoot, I did goodie bags. So I had found these cute little Coca-Cola cups, little glass cups that say Coca-Cola on it in the dollar store. So I bought those. I got the little ripped up paper that comes shredded already, and it's like crinkly. I had got that, stuffed it in the cup. I put little candies in it, and that was their gift. So everybody went home with something. So I brought that there, and then she's like, oh, the videographer canceled on me what I'm gonna do. I wanted to film this project. Got you, say less. Pulled out my camera, filmed it for her, right? So I filmed it for her. She my best friend. I'm gonna do whatever it got to take to make you successful, because in my mind, if you win, I win, we all win, because we all have dreams and goals and aspirations in life. So I'm gonna help you to the best of my knowledge. So I said, damn B, you should have told me beforehand. I would have found a videographer for you, because I know a lot of them because I'm an actor. So I would have found one for you to come and film it. I was like, it's cool. So I took out my camera, started filming. I filmed the whole thing for her, sent it to her. She edited it. So we did that, and then we were supposed to do something in June or July. But before we did her event in May, I found out, I think in April. I think I found out in April that I was pregnant. And then I just sent a text. I just literally sent a text like, oh, hey guys, I found out I'm pregnant, and like kept it pushing. And she's like, oh my God, that's not something you send during a text. That you call me. And I'm like, well, I don't like how people are when they get pregnant and they're like overly happy and joy. You know, I have no problem with that. Me, I just wasn't the type of person. I knew one day I wanted to have kids, and then I found out I was pregnant. I was like, okay, well, I'm having a baby, and that was just it. Like, I didn't think nothing of it. I didn't fucking, like, I don't want to say I wasn't happy, because I was, but I wasn't like overly joy, like, oh my God, I'm pregnant, I'm having a baby, blah blah blah. Like that to me didn't, it just, I'm trying to word it because I don't want to come off negative, because it wasn't a negative situation. I was just like, oh yeah, I'm pregnant, and I just kept it pushing. So I'm like, okay, well, now that I'm pregnant, I want to make sure I do X, Y, and Z before my baby comes. So I started working more at my job. I was working at Wiz International, so I started working more there, putting in hours, making sure I'm saving my money. I was like, my goal is to save an extra $8,000. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing all this stuff. I was like, then I gotta save an extra $8,000. I want to move out, because I was already planning on moving out January 2017. I was like, okay, I need to move out because I want to live by myself. I want to be able to walk in my house and sew and do whatever I gotta do. So I was already planning on moving out. So I had all that on my plate, plus my creative stuff that I wanted to do for myself, plus helping other people. So by the time her workshop came in May, everybody already knew I was pregnant, and we, you know, that was just it, kept pushing. So then fast forward to after May. So this is the summertime. Now the summertime, I think I went down to Maryland, where my fiance's mother and sisters and his other brother live. So I think I went down there for, I think maybe a week or 2 weeks. We went down there to visit them. And then, yeah, I went there to visit them because I was like 5 months, going on 6 maybe. I was really small, so it looked, I didn't have no stomach. So yeah, I went down there to visit them, and then I'm talking to B, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in Maryland, blah blah blah. And she was like, oh, are you gonna come visit me? And I was like, oh no, I mean, it wasn't on my trip, and then it wasn't on my trip, wasn't in my schedule, wasn't in my budget. And I'm like, oh no, I wasn't. And she was like, oh my God, you're one thing away from me, and you're not gonna come and visit me. And I'm like, oh well, you know, I really didn't see that it was an issue. at all. Like I really didn't see that it was an issue. So I was just like, oh, I didn't think it was that serious. Basically, this is like the stuff I'm telling her. I was like, oh, I didn't think it was that serious. And she was like, oh, well, you don't call me no more, and all we do is text. Because when she moved, we FaceTime every day, but I had a lot of time, and now that I don't have the time, I didn't have the time to FaceTime her every day. And plus I was using my iPhone, which stopped working, and I had a Samsung. The same damn phone I got now, what, 6 years ago, I had a Samsung. So I didn't have the time to FaceTime her every day. And I was wrong, because I could have explained that more to her. All I said was, oh, my iPhone stopped working, you know, I'm busy. Like, I basically like brushed it off because I was so focused on other things and I had a lot to get done. So, yeah, so I definitely dropped the ball on that part. So let me see. So after that, okay, so after that I said, okay, you're right, I'm gonna do my part more and try to call you instead of text you. So I'm going to try. That's what I said. I'm going to try, because I knew I had a lot of stuff going on. So I said, I'm going to try. So she said that, and she said that in June. And then the summer went by. Mind you, we were supposed to be doing other things. So I'm like, oh, do I still, it was the second thing we were supposed, this is like the fourth, but the next thing we were supposed to work on, I wanted to do another dance skit to this song that I had found on YouTube. This guy remixed Thriller, and it was popping. So I was like, oh, I want to do this dance skit to it. Like, I see everybody, like, and I had like a group of dancers in my mind. I had a group of dancers in my head, and dressed like zombies, and you know, just everything. And then with her, I had gave her a couple of ideas, and I was like, she was doing something, and I was like, you should get the glow in the dark paint. So, cause she wanted to do something like a reference or pay homage to Flashdance, because that's one of the movies that like really inspired her to dance and stuff like that. So I said, ooh, I was like, and at the part when she, you know, when she pulls the string and the water come down, I was like, instead of doing that, you should get the black the neon black paint light, the neon black paint that when you under the dark light, you know, you pour it on yourself, you will see the neon, like the splashes of paint going off your body. So I'm like, that is, but she was like, oh, what's that? And I'm like, oh, well, it's blah blah blah, you know, just telling her. And I'm like, you could get it here. So I'm sitting there giving her all these ideas. And that's one thing about me, like, I always help my friends. If you're stuck and you need like a creative mind to back you or give you some type of insight or give you an idea you wasn't thinking of, I'm your girl. Like, I always helped her 100%. I was behind her 24/7. Even when people were talking ill about her and they came and was asking me, oh, is your friend yada yada, does your friend yada yada, you know what I'm saying? I always shut that shit down. Don't talk about my fucking friends, because I don't shit on my friends. So give my ideas for that. So then literally the summer's going and it hit August, and this is when I lost my two best friends. So August comes and somebody close to her passed away, and it's me being, I had a lot going on, and I'm not taking away from that, but I was a fucked up person because I didn't call her or text her. Well, I should say call. I didn't call her when I seen it because somebody posted it first, and then I was like, what? And I was like, nah. And then I went to her page and she didn't post anything. So I said, oh, if she didn't post it, maybe it's not real. And I left it alone. Instead of me calling her saying, yo, I just seen that this girl posted this, is it true? And I didn't do that. So that was my wrong on it. And that was my wrong on it. So I didn't do that. And then August 4th, she calls me and I'm at work. No, this is the August 2nd or the 3rd. So August 2nd or the 3rd, I'm talking to my other best friend. I'm talking to my other best friend, and I'm going to call her M. So I was talking to M, and I'm like, no, she's like, oh, what's going on with you and B? And I'm like, well, I didn't think anything was going on. And she was like, oh, well, that person passed away. You didn't say anything. And I was like, yeah, I know. I was fucked up about it. I was like, I had a lot of shit going on. But when I seen it from the other person, I didn't think it was real because B didn't post it. So I just like bypassed it, and I was fucked up. I should have called her. So she was like, yeah, she's really upset about that. Basically saying how your friendship is over, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, well, you know, if she has something to say, we're not 5. Like this, I was like, if she has something to say, we're not 5. She can call me and we can speak about it. And then she was like, oh, yeah, she's saying how you don't call her. And I was like, well, I told her I would try to call her more. Like I said, I'm busy. I was like, and I'm not saying I'm busy to where, you know how they say you're busy, but if you really want to make time for people, you can. I can't. I was busy. I was fucking doing 3-4 jobs because Wiz International is an inventory company. So they send you an email. They send you an email, or you log in. You log in and you check how many jobs you have, and then you confirm if you can work it or not. I was confirming every job. So I literally was going to work for 4 a.m., getting off at 2, getting back to Queens by 3:30, and then the next job was at 5, and then I'm going doing that, and then getting back to Queens around 9. Then the next job was at 10 or something. I'm finishing that job at 2 a.m. So I literally was confirming every job to save my money because I had a goal. I was having a baby, so I had a deadline. So and then if I wasn't working, I was working on something creative, or I was asleep. Like I was still going to see casting directors at 6-7 months. You know what I'm saying? So I got a belly walking into the casting director, holding up my script, doing the scene. So I was busy, and I don't think she understood like how busy I was. And that's not to take away from her. I just feel like she didn't really comprehend, like when I said I was busy, like I was busy. If I wasn't at work or working on something creative, I would sleep. And when I was pregnant, I didn't even nap during the day. One, I don't like napping during the day because every time I take a nap during the day, I wake up nauseous. And that's just me not being pregnant. So I was like, oh, well, I don't want to nap during the day. So during the day, I'm not napping, I'm working. And then at night, I'm asleep. Mind you, I'm going to sleep around 9 something because I got to be up at 3 a.m. to be to work for 4. So I was doing a lot. And I'm pregnant. Even though, thank God, I didn't have no pregnancy symptoms to where it prevented me from stopping work. Like I had a great pregnancy. Everything went smoothly. So, I'm trying to think. Yes, so now I spoke to my friend about that. I spoke to Emma about that. Now August 4th comes. She calls me. I'm doing Victoria's Secret 34th Street area. If you live in New York or been in New York and you've been to that Vicky's, you know it's big as hell. So I'm doing that. I'm sitting there scanning panties. She calls me and I look at her, answer the phone. Hey B, what's up? I'm sorry to hear about so and so. Oh, fuck that. I want to talk because we're not 5, right? That's how she started it. I said, oh, okay, so you spoke to M and like what? So the thing with me is now, if I tell you something and then you go back and you tell her something, now it comes off like I'm talking bad about you. Because I don't know the way you're wording it. I know the way I worded it, but I don't know the way you're wording it. So during the conversation of me talking to M, I was talking about the person that passed, and then I was like, the person that posted it, I didn't think it was real. But she was like, well, why would the girl post it? And I was like, oh, because they whatever. And I'm like, and she I was like, and B had joined them or something like that. I was like, but anywho, long story short, that's how they met. So I was like, and that's the story that they told me. So I'm going off for what they told me. So I'm telling her because I'm like, nigga, it's whatever. This is what you told me. And it's not like I spoke bad about it or I made up a lie. You told me this and I told M that's how they met. So I was like, oh, well, that's basically how they met. And she's like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. And I was like, oh yeah, well, you asked, like, it's whatever. Like, I literally brushed it off because it was whatever. I didn't lie. I didn't say, oh, this is how they met when really it was a different situation. It was the truth. So, and then I said something like, yeah, so then M has said something, and I was like, oh, well, you know, B, like, she's a little out there, you know, she's very aware of her sexuality, and she's just like a strong woman with that, and she doesn't care. So when it got back to from me talking to M, when M told her, it came, B's calling me, now it got back to, oh, you called me a hoe. I'm like, what? No, I never said that. And she was like, oh, well, M told me that you said blah, 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 and I'm a hoe. I said, I never said that. She's like, oh, so she's lying? I said, yes, she is. I was like, if you want to call her right now, because as soon as she answered I picked up the phone, she said, are you busy? I said, I'm at work, but if you want to speak, let me know. She said, oh, I don't care. We could do it now. We could do it later. I was like, okay, then let's talk now. Like, mind you, I'm at work on the phone, so I'm literally scanning panties, and I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, you can call her on the phone and we can speak 3 ways, because that's not the words that came out of my mouth. I was like, what I said was, and then she's like, oh, well, I'm fucking talking. And I looked at my phone. And mind you, I'm pregnant, so I'm not trying to overreact, and I'm at work. And then I'm supposed to be going to London and Paris for my birthday, which is at the end of August. So I'm not trying to have no type of stress, no type of nothing to where I can't fly. I didn't pay for this trip back in January before I found out I was pregnant. Didn't get insurance on my plane tickets. So I wasn't missing this I wasn't missing this trip. 2, you're not going to yell at me like you're my mother, because my mother doesn't even yell at me. So you need to calm your nerves. So when she started screaming, I put the phone down. And then I go back on, and I'm like, okay, so 1, because you cut me off, I didn't call you a hoe. That's not what I said. And she was like, oh, well, whatever. It was between those lines. I talk to M every day. Why wouldn't I believe her over you? I said, hold on. You knew me longer. M was my friend that I met from another girl. And we always just happen to hang out with each other. And I ain't never lied to you. We never got into no confrontation, no argument. Not even like a little argument. We never got into it. So I'm like, the fact that you're gonna choose what she says over what I say, that says a lot. It clearly says like this is done. So now once she said that, I'm in I don't give a fuck mode. Okay. I'm like, well, I never called you that, and I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings, but that's not what I said. And if you want to have a 3-way conversation, we can. Like, that's just it. And then she was like, oh, well, both of y'all bitches are lying. I'd rather stop being friends to both of y'all. I said, okay, well, if that's what you feel, then that's just it. So we got off the phone, and when we hung up, that's when it hit me. And I'm just like, yo, I just fucking lost one of my best friends. Like, what? So yeah, so from there I was like mad, like fucking sad for days. For days. Maybe I want to say, let me see, that was August. So I spoke to M, I think, damn, was it 2 or 3 days after that? I think I spoke to her 2 or 3 days after that, because she came to my house and she was like, oh, what's going on, you and B? You need to call her. And I was like, there's nothing to say. I'm like, she said what she had to say on the phone, and maybe we just need this time apart. Like, I don't know what else to do. And then I'm like, the fact that you said that I called her a hoe and I didn't, that like stirred the pot from her past or whatever. So I'm like, why the fuck would you tell her I said that when I didn't? And she was like, I never said you said that. I was like, okay, so if I didn't say it and you said that you didn't tell her you said it, but she's telling you did say it, somebody lying. And then from there, M was automatically not my friend. But yeah, so once she said that, I was like, okay, like, we're not friends. And I had to play nice because I was going with her to London and Paris for my birthday trip. So literally for the whole month of August going to September, I had to act like I was her friend. Even though you've seen it a little bit when we was in London and Paris, like when we wake up, we'll get dressed, we'll eat, and then when we go out through the day, we'll have fun with each other, and then when we get back in the house, we went our separate ways. Like sometimes, I think maybe throughout the whole trip, it was 4 days in London, 4 days in Paris, and I think 2 days out of that trip, I think when we got back in the house, we actually sat with each other and talked. But that was about it. But so when that happened, I was just like, you know, she said what she had to say. She really didn't let me speak, so I'm just gonna leave it as that. Maybe we need time apart. And I was sad for, I say up until Kari, a little bit after 1, going into, she turned 1 in 2018. So yeah, like maybe like December, like after her birthday's in December, so after December 2019, that's when I like really let it go, and I said, you know, if we're meant to become friends again, then we will. But right now I can't keep holding on to it, because I was holding on to it for a good year. Like I was fucking devastated, and I just kept thinking like, maybe if I would have did this, or maybe if I would have said this. And then I really had to sit back and think about, look at me and my inner self and how I am as a person. And from that I grew, which I love. So that's what I did. So me and B stopped talking. Once we had that conversation on the phone, it was done. We didn't speak no more after that. And then when I went to London and Paris for my birthday, which I had a great time, I had a real great time. But literally the whole time in London and Paris, M is talking about B. Like, oh, if she was here, she wouldn't be doing this with us, because she always complain how she don't have no money, blah, 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 blah. And if she would have came, this would have happened, da, da, da. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, okay, now I see that I was part of the problem, but you are the big problem, because you literally can sit here and talk bad about her, but then y'all still talk. So the fact that y'all are still friends and you sitting here talking bad about her for 8 days straight says a lot about you. So I said, oh, you know what, when I get back, I can't be friends with her no more. That's just it. And then I'm like, okay, maybe I'm over exaggerating because I'm pregnant, I don't know, hormones maybe. Honestly feel I didn't have hormones, or whatever the case may be. But I said, okay. So we got back, and then literally in the airport, I was 2 seconds from leaving her because her phone was dead. She didn't have no ride. My boyfriend was coming to get me, or he was coming to get me, and then he couldn't get the car, so he sent the Uber. And he was like, oh, well, what about M? And I was like, well, what about her? Like, it's not my fucking friend. I'm leaving her here. Like, she'll get home the way she gets home. And I was like, you know what, that's me, let me not do that. So literally he paid for the Uber to drop her and drop me. So we rode in the same Uber. So I think it was like $80 from the airport to where we live. It was expensive. And she didn't give us no money back. She didn't say, oh, thanks for the ride, here's some money, nothing. So I let that go. And then from there, we spoke a little time after that, here and there. Her second daughter that she just had was turning 1 in September, so we spoke. And then I was like, then when her party came, I was like, oh, I should go to the party. And then I'm like, damn, I didn't get a gift. Fuck, I can't go to the party. I was like, I don't have a gift. And then I was like, you know what, I'm still gonna go, because I said that I was gonna try, and you know, we was gonna talk and communicate and work shit out. And long story short, I didn't go to the party. I was like, you know what, I feel like she wasn't my fucking friend. Like, she wasn't my friend anymore, so I'm just not gonna go. So I sent her a text explaining how I wasn't coming to her party and stuff like that. I don't know if I think I did, but I explained everything through text. So now my baby shower is coming up October 1st, and no, this is after. So that was it. So basically that's how I lost 2 best friends in a month. and that was it. I don't know how long this video is going to be, so I'm gonna stop it here, and then if it's not too long, I'm just gonna add in part 2. But that's how I lost 2 best friends in a month. Crazy. I mean, if I would have did this video when it happened, I would have been a nervous breakdown wreck. But the fact that what happened in part 2 and the peace with it, I'm really like at peace with it. Like, genuinely happy for both of them. I've seen B but haven't seen M, and if I see M, you know, it's nothing but love. Hey, how are you? How are the kids? You know, stuff like that. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.